Hey all, thanks for joining me. It looks like producer Robert John Hammond has an idea for another documentary or narrative film regarding Father Seraphim Rose. Let me give you the information on this. Okay, so this is his book to the right, Voice in the Wilderness, Reflections on the Life and Legacy of Father Seraphim Rose. I really like the title. Nice picture. Really nice. I might have to get that. The latest spiritual, he is an author as well, so the latest spiritual and historical work by award-winning author and filmmaker Robert John Hammond. So he's presenting a compelling case for the glorification of Father Seraphim Rose, one of the most influential Orthodox Christian figures in North America. So, drawing on biological detail, theological reflection of first-hand testimony from spiritual children, the book offers a vivid portrait of Rose's life, ministry, and enduring impact on the faithful. Father Seraphim is widely revered for his uncompromising commitment to Orthodox teaching and ascetic life. A co-founder of St. Herman of Alaska Monastery, he authored works that have guided generations of seekers all over the world toward authentic Christian discipleship. Very true. His witness continues to influence the Orthodox world. In The Voice in the Wilderness, Hammond traces the growing movement from the Orthodox Church toward the formal glorification, canonization of Father Seraphim Rose. As you know, ROCOR is working, the bishops, the Synod of Bishops, they've established a formal commission to study Rose's life, legacy, and veneration, appointing His Grace Bishop James of Sonora to lead the process. This marked an historical step forward in the Church's consideration of Rose as a saint. Bishop James himself, a convert, deeply influenced by Father Seraphim's writings, emerges in the book as both a witness and shepherd of this unfolding process. His reflections, along with his leadership of the commission, provide rare insight into Rose's continuing spiritual authority and pastoral influence. Through vivid narrative and personal testimony, A Voice in the Wilderness brings to life the experiences of Rose's spiritual children, monastics, clergy, and lay faithful, whose lives were transformed by his example. These accounts illuminate the depth of Rose's spiritual legacy, marked by ascetic fidelity, pastoral clarity, and contemplative witness. The book situates these stories within broader ecclesial and cultural currents, underscoring the continued relevance of Rose's message in the 21st century. So, Hammond has expressed strong interest in developing a featured documentary or narrative film inspired by Voice in the Wilderness, tracing the life of St. Seraphim Rose from intellectual seeker to monastic father. Such a project would follow Rose's spiritual odyssey and explore its enduring relevance for contemporary audiences. Yes, this is paramount today. A cinematic adaptation would align naturally with Hammond's broader body of work, which consistently engages themes of sacrifice, faith, and spiritual awakening. The growing visibility of Orthodox Christian cinema, seen in recent films such as Man of God, Moses the Black, and El Tanto por Cristo, that's a Fool for Christ, along with the emergence of platforms like Logos Cinema, reflects a wider cultural readiness for stories of Orthodox spiritual depth. Hammond's award-winning documentary, American Orthodox, which I just showed you a few days back, the trailer, based on his best-selling book, American Orthodox, Finding the Ancient Faith in the Modern World, explores this living tradition within the American context. Building on that foundation, Hammond hopes to see a thoughtful, prestige-level cinematic portrayal of St. Seraphim Rose, and has expressed admiration for directors such as Yelena Popovic, whose work demonstrates a sensitivity well suited to Rose's life and legacy. Okay. These are important parts in here. All of these Orthodox movies coming out right now it's huge. It's an explosion of orthodoxy through movie, through film. I mean, yes, we've had books for, several decades now, and, have been translated into English and all that for many decades. But now, all of a sudden, we have this explosion of all these Orthodox films that are actually being shown in theaters across the world, across the nation here, which is somewhat shocking. If you've been around for many decades, or at least as an Orthodox, you hadn't seen this really happening. This is amazing. It's a historical moment for American Orthodox. This is great. I'm really excited. Since he's very interested in doing it, and it sounds like he might want to work with Popovic, who did Man of God and St. Moses the Black movie. I do hope that this type of film is done in a way that that they did with Fool for Christ, El Tanto de por Cristo, and how they did St. Moses the Black, so that it is more of a impactful and work that makes you really get absorbed in, because those two films, even with just the trailers, you can tell that it's just magnificent the way they did these, the way they portray these spiritual characters and all that. I think that's the road that we should go down on doing Orthodox films. But I don't know, he may be doing the documentary or whatever, but in any case, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this project goes from here. So, wanted to share that with you. Please share your thoughts on this. What do you think about this whole Orthodox film industry? What's going on, in America? It's just amazing. Thanks so much for watching, for following my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope you're having a blessed Sunday.